and welcome to the stream. My name is Mike D'Angelo, aka That Tellest Guy. I am going to do things a little out of order today just because it requires us to do so in order to show off the things that I want to show. So we looked yesterday at getting custom stamps into the incarnate interface and everything like that. But I did want to show how you can take things a step further if you have certain custom assets that you're making. Very arguable that you probably know how to do this already, but for those who might not be at the first step, this might be a kind of cool step that shows what you can do outside of what you already know. So we have this gentleman, this warrior spectator already in the Seramore race start map or whatever we're calling it. But we want to try and see if we can make an adjustment to him as well. So we've got this guy in his gleaming silver armor. Let's try and see if we can change things so that maybe he's got like darker armor or something like that. So one of the things that you can do in Photoshop is, I'm sure there's other people who know much better ways than me to do this kind of stuff, but I'm just going to try and grab a decent amount of the stuff on his person with the magic wand tool. So we're just going to keep on doing this. You'll notice that I have contiguous off. That is because I'm just trying to grab the stuff that we can find. And then what we're going to do is clear out some of the spots on his head, and we'll go from there. So we're going to leave some space, and we're going to take away some of the other stuff. Like any of the dark spots, we don't really need to make it darker. That looks good, I think. And then what we'll do is we'll go into the rectangle marquee tool, and we're going to just take away the spots that we don't need. So we'll take away anything that his hair and his face would be. And we'll do the same thing with his sword further down and his boots if we need to do that as well. We only need that over there. This stuff here can go. Whatever that is. Let's see, a little sliver of that's still there. The silver in his arms we're going to keep, but his hands, and again his sword, we're going to keep the sword sheath or whatever that is out of there. Right now we look pretty good. Let's get rid of any of this kind of like aliased stuff. And what we're going to do is, I just realized I have the hue and saturation thing here. Let's delete that real quick. And we're going to do another adjustment with the hue and saturation. So it should just be what we grabbed. If we would have done it for everything, then it would have changed the color of his skin, things like that. So right now it should be just a mask of his armor, pretty much. So what we can do is we can grab the saturation, we could make it brighter, we could make it, a little bit less saturated. We're going to leave that be for now, but you'll notice I've got kind of like this golden kind of color. If we went to around there, that's a version that I already made. But let's bring this back to 0, and we're going to play with the lightness instead. So we've got something like that. Looks a little darker. And we've got like these lighter points on his shoulders that I want to try and cut out a little bit. So let's go back to contiguous real quick and just get a darker spot. And we're going to throw that in place up here. And maybe we'll do one more down there just to blend it in. It doesn't have to be perfect. That looks better. It doesn't look as awkward. And then what we'll do, just to save, so we'll save a copy. And we're going to throw this on Warrior Spectator 3, we'll call it. Okay, easy peasy. Don't want to go too crazy with this stuff. Let's close out of Photoshop because I'm not going to do any more on the stream. It does end up just beating the crap out of my system. Dark Nightmare told me that I need to hydrate, so I will hydrate. It is the perfect day to do so. It is a hot one. Now, I'm not upstairs in my office because it's so hot. Brianna, could you do me a favor? Did you see like the blinking on my screen, or is that just because I'm remoting in? Okay, perfect. So on my side of things, I see a whole ugly mess because I'm remoting into my upstairs computer, and it's just abysmal the way it looks on my screen. So I'm glad that it doesn't look that way for anybody else. Let's see, I got a cheer. Woohoo! Alex the Great gave me 10 bits. Thank you so much. Hey, I don't know why the Incarnate page let me know you were online, but keep it up. Well, that's pretty cool. Incarnate said, hey, go take a look at this guy. I'll have to look into that a little bit more and see why that's happening. All right, so we're going to go to the art manager real quick. You'll see a bunch of the custom ones that we already have up. We're going to add those new 2 warriors that we just made in Photoshop. Just a palette swap, nothing too crazy, but we have Warrior Spectator 2 and Warrior Spectator 3. I think what we'll probably do is go into our race map first, and then we'll go to the jungle afterwards and maybe finish that one up for the day. But so we're done with the art manager. We have our spectators here. We're going to go into our maps. Dark Nightmare says, how's it going? It's going pretty good, actually. Alex the Great said he meant to send the cheers first, but I appreciate it either way. Alex says, I'm attempting to create my fantasy world, but I honestly suck at it. I mean, I think when you're first starting out, it's always going to be a little bit of something. But the more time that you spend in it, the greater it gets. I've reset my world twice and had a good time with it in both instances. So, and that's why we get all the crazy stuff that we do with our stream now. So let's see. All right, so we're going to throw down a couple more of our new stamps. So we're going to grab a couple of our spectators. Go to our human aid set, and I think we'll just have like the one gold warrior spectator, and maybe we'll have him. I feel like that's dead center, so he's looking after everybody. So he's dead center, and let's throw a couple of our other warrior spectators around. We've got this one who's kind of sitting by over here, but we'll have another guard watching out for him. And we'll do the same thing over on the other side. And we're just going to throw down a couple more spectators. So I want this to be like a big deal. This event is not something where just a few people would show up. These bleachers would be stacked. Alex says, take care. Gotta go. Just wanted to hop on and cheer on. Well, I appreciate it very much. Thank you very much for the cheer and everything. I appreciate it, and have a good rest of your night. Dark Nightmare says, I'm taking a break from creating my own homebrew campaign. I've gotten a lot of progress done in the last 3 days, so I'm proud of myself. You should be proud of yourself. Those kind of things, not a lot of people will take the leap into something like that, and any kind of creative endeavor, it deserves to have some appreciation. So, well done. All right, let's go back into our spectator set. Let's throw a couple more people here and there. Let's see. Let's do one more warrior with spear over on the other side. Throw him over here. And we're going to keep on grabbing some more spectators. Throw a couple of kids up here. I want her to be, there you go. She's standing up, so she shouldn't be covered the way that the other one was. Kid there, kid there. Let's do, keep the kids away from the bad stuff that's happening down there. Put them there. Let's see. Dark Knight says, I just got done with the last of the Pantheon deities. I'm surrounding the campaign around. That's always a lot of fun. I feel like the either the theism and stuff like that you can add into your world is pretty fun. Are you is there anything specific about like the gods in your universe, or are they just kind of like a one-to-one to a religion that already exists? Grab a couple more of these guys. Let's see, we'll throw one here. Throw this guy here. Let's grab. I don't want to take that one too much because that one looks like he's up to no good. We've got this gentleman over here. Looks kind of drunk, but that's fine. And you know what? Throw him another two. Oh, I didn't realize there was one right below me. Don't need that. These two guys are hanging out. It's okay that there's one a little bit down there. And something like that. Dark Nightmare says there's 15 of them. So, yep. So it was a lot of work on my part, and for this game, all the deities are based around fears and phobias. The whole premise is that these gods out of nowhere started to take over the material plane. So are they going to be the main adversaries of your campaign, or do you think it's going to be they're just kind of like adding extra flavor to it? Let's grab. I definitely have to do a couple more palette swaps here and there. I don't want to blend them in too much. All right, let's grab some lights again. Some warriors. There. Okay, that's a good amount, I think. And let's get some other folks that we can do a couple more things. We've got the one friar over there. Throw this one over on this side. Let's see, a couple more of these guys, perhaps. They're the main antagonists, essentially. The goal is to kill them and rid the world of them. Well, the fact that you have 15 of them means that you got a lot of content that you can throw into all that, so that's pretty cool. One more of them. Down here at the end, he's kind of looking over. Let's move to our riders for a little bit. So I feel like we can do some stuff there. So go in, and instead of our spectators, let's go to our riders. And let's do something that looks a little bit more. Help if I'm doing these the right size. These really need to be redone because they should be at the 30% mark as well. I think, if I'm not mistaken, there was a horse over this. There we go. Grab that one. Let's do black-haired rider. I think that we have all the horses covered for now, so we have to put some more down. I want this whole area to be just chock full of horses. I suppose. Switch that one back over here, move this one up. A lot of these kind of like brownish horses, but let's try and make this one look a little bit more black. So we'll make the brightness down, maybe move the saturation down. Just a little bit more black there. These guys are a little too close, so scooch these around as well. And then real quick, I want to see, we tried to do like 4 points of interest here, and I want one of my points of interest, I think, to be like a horse that's, I don't want them to be dead, but fallen over might be a fun thing. And you could, the scenario could call for an investigation for what happened or something along those lines. So we got a quote-unquote dead horse, but it doesn't have to be dead. That one's dead. That one doesn't have to be. The nice thing about this is the game master can decide. So from snout to butt, it's about 8 feet. And I feel like that's a normal size for a horse. Hey, horse girl.
What?
does 8 feet sound about right for a horse? From snout to butt?
No, that seems a little too long.
A little too long? Let's see.
I'll look it up.
Maybe I'll scooch it down a little bit.
Oh shit, 8 feet. Very low.
Oh, shoot. Oh, shoot, you say when I'm live.
I said, oh, shoot,
Like a good person.
Good person.
Dark Nightmare says, yep, just finished up all their sheets. For now, the sheets have the deities' humanoid form appearances, their symbol, trademark, alignment, what kind of people worship them, their allies and enemies in their main domain. Sounds like you put a lot of work into it. So I think you were saying you were taking a little break, and that sounds very earned. Speaking of breaks, we'll in about a minute, we're going to go to our preview for our game tomorrow. We're doing Quantum Quest Live, which is our tabletop game, and we'll see what we can do about getting that to run properly while everything looks a little flaky on my side, but I think we'll be in good shape. Let's go back to the catalog, and we're going to go back to our riders, throw a couple more riders in place. Let's do one of these ponytail guys. Oof. That is rough. So I'm doing this remote thing because it is super steamy upstairs in our house right now because the air conditioner conveniently can't run when it's super hot, and we lost it maybe around like 12:30 this afternoon. So we're doing the remote thing. I get like these weird static artifacts on the screen when I'm doing that. All right, I'm going to keep on doing this in the back end, but let's switch over to the Quantum Quest preview real quick. Actually, I'll answer Dark Nightmare first. Says, I did, yeah, I'm having a lot of fun with it, though. I'm going to be working on the deities right hands next. Essentially, each one has a second in command who does their bidding on the material plane. Kind of like a friendly avatar doing their work. It sounds very fun. All right, we'll talk more about this on the other end. Now that our Twitch channel has reached affiliate status, we can start to do some really cool things. One of them is inviting you to play our tabletop dungeon diving game, Quantum Quest. Using our channel points, called Quest Coins, you can queue up for one of our forthcoming Tabletop Thursday games. In addition, as we amass more followers, we'll continue to add new ways for you to use your Quest Coins. Join us and see if you can escape the living dungeon. Alrighty, we should be back, to the best of my knowledge. I can hear myself, so it looks like everything's working. We're going to keep on doing a little bit of work over here. I have to have Rihanna shut me up over there. I did! I did, Michael, you shut up. The correctly footed horses. 6 feet would be Sleipnir.
It seems too big.
It does when you think about it, because you don't think that they're that big, but they're just a little bit smaller than some cars. Oh, well, thank you very much, Dark Nightmare. It's one of those things that that we have a lot of fun with, and it's weird doing it online because of the because of having to do it basically in Photoshop. But I feel like it's the only way to do it online right now because we don't have a digital version of the game. But we are bringing the expansion out, so I did want to, have fun with other people online with it. I thought that it would be an entertaining thing to do, and so far it's been a lot of fun for people, I think. All right, let's see what we got. We might leave the race course alone for a little bit and head back over to the jungle. Scooch this guy down. We'll do a save because we are at 55 changes. And while that's saving, let's check out here. Yeah, that's fair. We're working on the second expansion in the background now too. We had a couple of art previews on the Patreon that we run. So it's been a lot of fun putting it all together, and we're going to try and run a Kickstarter campaign for the first expansion, which is the one that we're playing online. We were going to do something for it in May of this year when we were at Comic-Con, Fan Expo, Philadelphia, but it was just too much. We had too much going on and couldn't really give it the attention that we wanted. All right, Rihanna, I'm going to ask you for your opinion in a little bit. Dark Nightmare says, but I only got one fully formed idea for a right hand, and it's for the last deity on the list. Well, you had mentioned that they have, they're based on like phobias and fears and stuff like that. So I think being able to build those things out on, based around that kind of concept would be pretty fun for you. So Rihanna, can you see the jungle map right now? You're not seeing any of those fuzzies, right? Yeah, like I get like this weird like static. It almost looks like weird static. But that's good. All right. So on the screen right now, you can see the kind of like stone area of the jungle. That's where the Kaltari is sort of extending his lair to. We've got the corpse in the tree over here. And then we've got down here like a bunch of dead trees and stuff like that. And then we have a will-o'-the-wisp in the tree. I need another point of interest. So I need some ideas.
Vines.
Vines? Where are the vines going?
I don't know, betwixt the trees.
I can do this. I think that's set dressing. That's not necessarily a point of interest. But
Swampy area.
It's all kind of swampy.
A pit.
A pit?
A pit. Or a trap.
A pit.
Like a pit fall trap.
Oh god, that's way too big.
Rope.
Go play your game.
I'm helping.
I'm helping. I'm helping.
Arrow. A tent.
You're just naming things in your game, aren't you?
What else is a point of interest?
I want good ideas. I want silly, dumb ideas.
A pumpkin patch.
Play your game. Go to sleep.
I'm trying to help you. A snake?
A sneak?
Like a big anaconda you don't want none unless you got one, son?
It could be. Putting some grasping vines like you asked me to next to the old withered trees.
No, I'm coming to help.
Just because you're shamed?
No. Not putting in the rope.
Where am I supposed to put the rope? What am I supposed
Wherever
to do? What am I supposed to do with the rope?
Wherever a point
What?
of interest is neat. How about a fallen tree? Do you have any fallen trees?
I don't have a fallen tree.
log,
But this,
perhaps?
This is not a point of interest. This is set dressing.
But what is a point of interest? Give me an example.
Something that you can build. Dark Nightmare thinks this
Ruins?
is very entertaining.
Ruins. Put ruins. Jungle ruins. A temple, perhaps? A jungle temple for King Louis, who is in the Jungle Book?
I feel very much like Jon Stewart and Bill O'Reilly, where I need you to shut up for a second so I can talk.
To listen to me when you ask for my help. I'm giving you help.
So I
You are sweaty. Ugh.
because you're on top of me.
Well, I have to be. Fallen tree. Look, there you go. You're listening to me. The temple. Do it.
I have a temple
Do
already.
another
It's 2
one.
maps above
Well,
this.
they need a smaller one. How about a statue for the worshippers of the temple?
No,
Why not? I'm giving you ideas.
because you're crazy.
I'm not
You're
crazy.
crazy.
I'm not crazy.
It's too hot. It's too hot, and you've lost your mind.
A balloon.
Let's see.
A dog toy. I'm just naming things we see in the house.
Dark Nightmare has a god that's called the Web, based on a fear of spiders.
Put a web in there.
Put a web in there.
Put a web.
Well, you know what?
A big spider web.
We
How
do
about that?
call this map jungle creatures. So a spider web. A spider web.
Oh,
would be
so
a
you
good one.
listen to Dark Knight, but not to me.
I am listening to you. You're the one who just said, "Put a web in."
Put a web in there. And some cocooned enemies, perhaps.
We could do cocooned enemies.
Uh-huh.
Let's do.
As if I don't have good
This is every day. Just for those listening from home.
You shaming me?
Of course.
Don't.
I'm also priesting you and paladining you.
Oh,
Oh.
like a shaman.
Let's see, is cocoon one C or 2 C's? I know that there's cocooned enemies. I just have to find them. My guess is in the Gothic set.
About a totem.
Because of shaman?
Yes, exactly.
Is that exactly why you thought of
That
it?
is exactly why I thought of it.
Dark Nightmare says this sounds like a great time.
Hey, we have fun.
I think I went too far.
Is this all the new stuff or is this the...
Now this is, you see what I'm
What's
talking
that?
about with all the
Okay.
blinkies,
Yeah,
right?
what
It's
the
giving
heck
you.
is that? I don't know. I feel like there's a glitch in the Matrix.
We've got graveyard stuff. Where's the cocooned people? I know there's cocooned people.
Maybe it's not called webbed victims or something.
Well, when I looked for web, it didn't show up.
Webbed.
Webbed. Well, if I do,
I know it's gonna not do it, but I want you to listen to me. I'm allowed to be
Let's
loud
do-
about being
Let's
wrong.
do victim. There we go. Dungeon spider victims.
There you go. An egg
You're an egg.
in these trying times.
That seems kind of big. That is. Well, that's fine, I suppose. Let's see. Let's go back to. Did you see the full idea for the right hand? Actually, that's what I was just about to tell you. That I was going to go back and look at that. So represents the fear of spiders, puppetry, and the loss of free will. They're going to be, a Drider, but they're twice the size of a normal one, and they have a manipulative intelligence to them that Driders normally do not have. Is the web the god, or is that the right hand associate?
You're a puppet.
You're a puppet. Jungle puppet. All right, let's do. It's really tough with all this wonkiness. Instead of this one being like a victim, we'll do like egg sacs or something like that. Do you not have that? That's disappointing. I feel like if I do something a little like this, I can make it look like an egg sac. And we got Luna having her own frustrations over here. She very much is. All right, we're going to grab these three and we're going to get rid of the shadows because I don't want them to be quite so big. What do we got over here? One spider victim. Oh, why are you being so problematic? Let's see. The web is the deity. Don't have a name for the right hand yet. Just put a random sunny side up egg in there. That'll throw the party for a loop. That'll be part of the variants for sure. Get rid of spider eggs and just do a sunny side up egg in the web. I think I'm taking away while I'm supposed to be adding. What is going on here? There we go. Now I should have all three. Bless you. Bless you. Biggie. All right. Let's, instead of getting rid of the shadow altogether, let's do something where we just dial back the intensity a bit. All right. I can't have a fallen tree without a stump, so we're going to throw that in there too. Let's do something like this one. Definitely have to dial back the size. Let's throw it right there on top of that. And maybe if we need to, we can scooch the tree back a little bit. Oop. Sure I don't accidentally boot myself out. Dark Nightmare says exactly, but I also had another one for a deity called the Flesh. I forget the name of the race, but it's originally from Vampire the Masquerade. It's a vampire that's able to manipulate flesh. Is that kind of like a bloodbender from Avatar? But with flesh. I like to put mushrooms on fallen trees and stuff, so let's find one of those Boletus mushrooms. I'm going to throw them. I guess we'll do polypore mushrooms. I'm going to dial back the size. We'll do it even further than that. I'll get this going for another 10 minutes or so, probably. And then we'll wrap things up for the week for the map stuff, that needs to be a layer higher so that we can see it on the tree. And then we'll come back tomorrow with that Quantum Quest Live, which ought to be a lot of fun. We got 3 new players, and Rihanna is going to try desperately to redeem herself. She didn't get 1 chamber last time. She won't play. Let's see, we'll do another one of these guys over here. We got to shrink that down even further. 10 is a nice size for that one, and then we'll put a different kind of mushroom growing out of the top of it. I think that will be fine. I just want to play. Let's do a couple of mushrooms around the side. And one of these guys right on top. Let's do a save and then see what Dark Nightmare's got going on. I could not, for the life of me, try to pronounce that. Samiski? That's the name of the race. Samiski. I have it written down somewhere. Samiski. I'm going to be saying that for the rest of the night.
Oh, that'll be fun for me.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks.
Dark Nightmare says, I can't pronounce it either. It's fine. I'm like, my phone is blowing up, so I'm going to have homework after this. All right, I definitely know that I need to do more for this map still. But I think for the sake of ending the week with some fanfare, let's hit the button. Woohoo! I forgot when so the fanfare button will make it so that the Yeti turns off, but we're not using the Yeti, we're using the microphone on my phone. Your woohoo, it definitely got through. Samitsky. Samiski. We're gonna Google that for you. Samiski. Pronunciation. There. So Dark Nightmare, there's a subreddit called Just Tamiski Things. Oh, that's good stuff. Just Tamiski Things. All right. So we did this map. We'll be back next week with our Bridge in the Furnace map. That is our first volcanic area map. And then I think the one after that is we're returning to the mountain for map 5 in that zone. So the man do want his jockey milk. The man, he definitely do. The lady also wants her jockey milk. Let's cut over to our closing the show screen. So folks, on the screen right now, you should be able to see all the places that Tellest features on out on the internet. Tellest.com is a great first place to visit because it'll bring you to the other projects that we work on. We work on a lot of things, as you can probably tell, including trying to figure out the pronunciations of Samisi or Jimishi. But in addition to that, we have a couple of premium sites. Patreon.com/Tellest is where you can get digital versions of our maps. We've got, I think I was doing the math today. By Friday of this week, we'll have 96 maps on Patreon and 293 variants. So we're right around the corner from having a and over 300 variant count. That'll be a lot of fun. If you want to go to get physical versions of our maps, you can go to tellest.etsy.com. We have, I think, 52 of our maps on there right now, with more coming every week. And in addition to that, we have things like bookmarks, stickers, posters, and Rihanna works on these incredible handcrafted one-of-a-kind magic wands called Weird Witch Wands. You can find more of those things on tiktok.com/@WeirdWitchWands. Rihanna and I are not the most famous people in our family. That glory belongs to our doggies. Luna has a video that hit 6 million. Is it up to 6.1 yet?
6 million.
So 6 million. It's dialing back a little bit. She's being humbled. But you can find those videos on tiktok.com/@TalesOfTellest. The last two places that I'm gonna bring your attention to are our YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/@WorldOfTellest. That is where you can go to find these videos after they get kicked off of Twitch, after the prerequisite amount of time. But twitch.tv/ThatTellestGuy is the only place that you can find us live, that you can chat with us, that we can pronounce the words of gods and their avatars for you, and where you can join us for things like Quantum Quest Live, where soon you'll be able to use your quest coins to do some very cool stuff and help the players who are making their way through the dungeon. It was a lot of fun today. Definitely some heat-based delirium. You should never put Rihanna and I in the same room at the same time. We're learning, but it was a good time, and I appreciate everybody who dropped by, who lurked, and we'll talk to y'all later.
And
And we'll miss you.